Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Love and Marriage Talk. We had a great time last week, Valentine's Day. We hope you did too. And you guys made each other happy. So, what are we talking about today?
Today we're just gonna talk about love because that's what we stand for, right? That's what this platform represents, how to share some of the nuggets of love to help our love relationships flourish. So today we're gonna talk about love, Esther.
Okay. Let's start with envy and boast. When we say love is not envy or does not boast, what is your take on that?
That's a mouthful because that definitely describes what love is not, right? Those are attributes. If I can say the word bad love,
So those are attributes of bad love.
Bad love.
Okay, all right.
If there's anything like that, bad love. Man, your love is bad. You got to go back to the drawing board and get things rolling. I can definitely, relate because we humans, we learn as we grow. We learn as we matured. And with our relationship experience, it has afforded me the privilege of making some, wrong moves on love. And my beloved wife here has always helped me to understand my actions. So let's talk about boastfulness in love. Man, I have so many examples for that.
Okay, let's stick with just few of that. Let's go.
First thing that comes in mind is, every relationships, it's not 100%, it's not 50-50. So most couples attributions are not on a 50-50 level. Sometimes one will be 50, one will be 40, one will be 60, one will be 40. And the one that may be doing more work might feel like, hey, let me just, express how proud or boastful I am to my family, And in that instance, you got to realize that although you might be producing more, and for that fact, you want to express proudfulness, boastfulness, the other one is also maintaining the home, and that is also part of the contribution. So you have to find a medium of balancing each other. And well, I know that today because I've learned the hard lesson. And we just wanted to share those moments. Love is definitely not boastful.
So for what I'm hearing you saying, you're saying that in every relationship, in every marriage, there definitely will be one person who might be doing more. And I'm going to just call a spade, right? So it could be one person who earns more money, right? For example, or it could be one person who does all the management of the home, right?
Right.
And so for that matter, that person might say, you know what? When I'm talking, don't talk, okay? Because I do this, I do that, and be boastful.
Of the actions, yes.
Of what they bring to the table.
Right.
And that is not what love is.
That is not what love is.
I do agree with you because the moment you do that, when that boastfulness or that that boastfulness or envy sets in, or pride sets in,
yes,
it doesn't make things look good.
It's foster hate. And let's call it spade a spade. It definitely foster hate because now it becomes a challenge for the couples, of just going at each other because everybody is trying to express how important they are in that family.
So then it takes us to our next word, envy.
Envy.
So when we talk about being envious,
yes,
one thing that sticks out in my head is if you and your spouse, if you and your boyfriend know what you do, what you bring home, right?
Oh, you and your girlfriend.
You and your girlfriend
right.
know what you do and what you bring home. What love is saying we shouldn't do is when you hear that your boyfriend has a promotion, you don't envy him. When you hear that your girlfriend has a promotion, you don't envy her. Wife or husband, what spouse. You do is you enjoy and celebrate that. The moments, right? And so that takes away enviness. I have this, you don't have this. I should have this, you shouldn't have this. That is not what love is. So what we are sharing here is if we love one another, if we want our love life to
flourish,
we should take envy out of it. Coming back to it, when we say that love is not rude or arrogant, what is your take on it, or what would you say on it?
First of all, with my experience, I believe that you have to value your spouse. You got to value your spouse so that you don't even walk in that demeanor of arrogant and rude, because those are not attributes of love. There's certain actions we take that create that behavior. And once we identify them in our various relationships, it will definitely help enhance and grow the marriage. Okay.
Yes. When you talk about being arrogant or being rude, there are so many relationships that could have flourished, could have gone to the next level, but because of being rude and arrogant, there was a stop to it, right? And that is what love is trying to show us, that when we love one another, we have to try as much as possible to take out that rudeness, that arrogance from it. Is it easy said than that? Yes, it is always easy to say something than actually to do it, because certain things make people act rudely or be arrogant. But the good news here is we're trying to encourage each other to say that when that moment of rudeness sets in, take a break. If you have to walk away so that you're not being rude to your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, the person that you say you love, right? If you don't have to be rude to them or show some signs of arrogancy, if you have to walk away for them not to feel like that, I think it's best to just walk away.
I totally agree.
Right? Because in the human life that we have on, or the human life that we are living, it is okay. We be human, so we're gonna be rude. Sometimes you might say something and it will come off very wrong. So what do you think that we can do in that sense if you couldn't control it and you were rude or you were arrogant? What would you think would be a best way to address it?
If you've already exercised such attributes in your relationship, in that moment, you have to own up to it. Honey, I'm sorry. Love, I apologize for my actions. I had a moment to reflect and realize those were an attribute of love. So I'll do better. And if they're sincere, you have to grant that request. I believe just being honest and owning up to your mistakes goes a long way helping build the new credibility you want to work in.
So as I will speak for a woman, and I think you should take out for the guys. What would you say, how easy it is for a man to say I'm sorry when they know they've been rude to their wife or their girlfriends? You as a man, what do you think? How is it for a man to do that?
It all depends on how much they value their spouse, their significant other. In that concept, if there is value, those core values of those relationships has been built on respect and love. Yes, any honest man can own up to their failure and say, hey, I crossed the line. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have exercised that action.
Okay.
And those actions coming from a man can be considered as abuse, in certain aspects. Because when we are, we fostering hate, it comes in a certain loud demeanor, so it can be a form of abuse. And I believe any respectable man should be able to own up to their mess when they cross that line and exercise that hate across the platform. They should be able to own up to it and apologize.
Okay, so men out there, I know you're hearing. I have somebody representing you here. So Nate is saying that when you cross the line of being arrogant to your wife, to your girlfriend, you should be able to say, honey, I'm sorry. I don't know how hard it is for you to do that. You know yourself. And I think it's something that can be worked on if you're not that kind of man who says sorry, right? So we're coming to the women. Women, what do I think? If you do something wrong, if you were rude, and trust me, we women can be rude sometimes, right? We smart at that. No, don't step on my toes, because I'm going to say something that you don't want. When you realize that, no, what I said was wrong, how often, how easy is it to say, honey, I'm sorry? I believe as a woman, when you do step outside that line and you step on your husband's toes or your boyfriend's toes, you should be able to own up to it, like Nate said, and be able to apologize, because at the end of the day, it's hands go, hands come, right? The right washes the left and the left washes the right. You're not expecting your husband to always say sorry. Neither is he expecting you to always say sorry. So we will say that, and you would agree with me, that when it comes to being boastful, being rude, being arrogant, and being envy, all these four things are things that does not add up to our love life. It happens, but when it happens, guys, let's find that median space to talk things out.
To make it right.
Let's make it right, because the more that would continue, it can hurt our relationship. So if you have something to work on, you know it. We're not gonna be calling anybody out, and we don't know what is going on in your homes, but you know better, and we're challenging you. We're not perfect. We're working on our relationship every day, but these are some of the things that we think real relationships go through, and we'll be able to kind of work on it.
Absolutely, Esther. I agree with you. So family, make sure you pay close attention to some of the things we've shared with you, the attributes of things that does not simulate love. and let's build on our relationship day by day.
We can do it.
We can do this.
Yes, we can. So guys, this brings us to the end of today's talk. We're going to challenge you to draw closer to each other in love by working on some of these things that happen naturally in our lives. Nate, anything we have to work on?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But one thing I know I'll be doing is embracing love in every aspect of my life this week.
And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to make sure I don't snap, be rude to him, or working on that. So find something to work on.
All right.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment because we want to hear from you. You have a wonderful week.
Stay tuned.